So how does this inform us about at least yoga religiously, symbolically? Well, Hatha yoga, when it first appeared, was um, inspired by or told to the guru. I like to think it was told to, or however you might think about it, the yogic practice in connection with something. But the fish, the fish is the symbolic version of you, the practitioner. And the water is not just your material environment, but also the cosmic environment. Hatha yoga is the process of becoming aware of the movements, energies, and what sorts of productions these movements and thoughts and consciousness bring to the practitioner and by extension outward. At least that's what this fish symbolizes in some senses, you, and how you move about through the water and your understanding of it all. Now there is a deeper significance to the fish and how it is subject to the water, but I'm not going to get into that here. That's not the purpose of this. That's not the purpose of this video. So, with this sort of little intro to meditation, yoga, a little bit of the symbolism behind yoga and the process of self-realization, self-actualization, which is what yoga is. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. So I would like to offer at least a couple warning people out there. When you get into yoga, you may hear about terms like kundalini and such, chakras, all that. I mean, well, the chakras are fine. They're contained within you at all times. Obviously, they make up each human being. But so kundalini yoga, that is a specific practice of self-realization that is extremely intense and self-revealing, and involves the process being under the guidance of a guru. Why? Well, because there are certain psychological and spiritual problems that may occur during this, and you need somebody to be able to counsel you and talk you through these things, especially somebody that knows you well, because this is a process about you. So they need to understand you and what your goals and desires, philosophies, all that may be. So I'm not saying, again, there are short Kundalini meditations which are there to help you identify and stay a little more connected with these different aspects of your consciousness, but that's as far as I would go on your own. Now, you may hear also, we'll talk about the third eye, the ajna, located between your brows. Don't go messing around with this, okay? There's a lot of people who want to do astral projection and all this sort of stuff. Don't do it. At least not right now. It's not there. You're not ready for it. That kind of stuff can make people listen. Don't mess around with it. There's entities that exist out there that will attempt to victimize you, whether they be angelic, demonic, or of whatever cosmic nature. And you're red meat for them. You're just wide open because you have not practiced yoga and you have not practiced strengthening the cosmic body, having the will and the skill to navigate what is beyond the material universe. So don't do it. Don't go messing around with it. Now, when it comes to talk of religion, I don't know who out there may be religious, who may not be religious, of whatever tradition you may follow. Me personally, I follow Aryan traditions and specifically, at least starting off, specifically Indo-European traditions, European folk traditions, which are part of the lineage of Aryan faiths, which is what Hinduism, or broadly speaking, Hinduism, the Vedic traditions, especially the early ones, pre-Upanishads, are within the same line of tradition. So, if you already practice one of these things, or you don't practice anything, well, this is your doorway to different sorts of faiths or understandings. Now, if you do practice something, maybe you might be a Christian or whatever the hell, I don't know. I wouldn't let that discourage you from practicing yoga. There have been Christian yogins in the past. Now, you will, because I've heard it from one person, that if you're Christian, you'll hear you will hear this, that yoga is dangerous and will lead you to evil things or open you up to evil things. I wouldn't listen to any of these people. They aren't worth your time. If they want to discourage you from a path of self-realization and self-actualization, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, to listen to them is crazy. We can get into the ideas of what they mean by evil or why they may say these sorts of things. That's best left for another video, especially as someone who doesn't necessarily follow orthodox paths. This sort of stuff is very funny to me. But you may hear it, and again, like I said, I wouldn't let them discourage you. Especially, and even if it makes you question your own beliefs, I say, welcome it. Come in with an open mind. Just as in yoga, nobody, or in the Indian tradition, not nobody, but the idea is ultimately to test these people's ideas and paths. The paths are open to people for them to follow and see if they get the same experience. There is no question of dogma, though there is some dogma, obviously. Again, Orthodox traditions have a lot of dogma, and I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with dogma, but you do have to look at these things critically. So yeah, it's a field where you are allowed to explore and experiment with these things and see what results happen and what works for you. And that goes for the gurus that you may listen to, see out there. There's a lot of them out there. Listen, they aren't Pharisees. They're not priests. They're not any real authority. Don't listen to every word that they say. Don't take it as sacrosanct. Don't. There's no reason to. Especially the fat ones. Anyone who's fat and is calling themselves a guru and is teaching people things, I question them. I question them because they're not committed to Hatha Yoga. And that is worrying. That is worrying to me. Yeah, it's easy to practice. It's not easy to practice, but you don't have to go to a gym. You don't have to do any of that stuff. It's all best done at home. And if you want to take a class, go ahead. You'll meet like-minded people. You'll learn stuff from these teachers out there. Just find somebody that's good, knowledgeable, and works for you. Again, yoga is kind of like, or a teacher is kind of like a doctor or a medicine man. They want to heal the patient, cure the patient, and they will do what is necessary for the context of each patient. That's the way a guru or a teacher should be for you. But seriously, there's so little barriers to practicing yoga. Don't think of it as a workout. Think of it as a process of understanding the self. If you don't like the idea of, I'm working out, I don't like gyms. I didn't have motivation to go back to the gym and lift. It sucks. I hate the gym. terrible. Home gym's sick. But anyway, just get a mat. Don't get a cheap one either. I got mine for, I bought mine for, I don't know, $90 to $100. Thing's great. I could dump a whole bucket of water on it. Never slip. It's fantastic. Just do it. Just practice yoga. What's holding you back? What's holding you back? I mean, come on. All you gotta do is go online, bing, bang, boom, order a mat. There you go. You're all set.